And I got to say, before we bring this gentleman on, that not only have we shattered our goal, we're hovering around the $24,000 mark, but the Ilderton Skating Club just gave us $400, Scott.
Woohoo!
Hometown rep. And now here's the thing. Okay. Organizers, they told me, they're like, you know what? For those that you don't necessarily have a great rapport with, and I'm like, come on, it's me. I got a great rapport with everybody. But we've only had a couple of just brief encounters to hang and meet. They just wanted to ensure that I made everybody comfortable. So I wanted to wear something, similar to a coworker of yours for 20 plus years, just to see if this would help.
Here.
So, these are the benefits of having a professional dance teacher living with you. If we can,
that is making me very comfortable. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will say, the one thing I will say is, I don't want to offend whoever gave you that, but I don't think Tessa would be caught dead in that. She always had like the primo. So we might need to go back to the designer.
Well, I realize that it's not something that Tessa would necessarily wear on the ice. This is more used for Latin dance, and
that makes sense then. Okay.
Kate, my fiance, is a size 2. I'm about a 12.5. It's a good thing I haven't gained the quarantine 15 right now. We're sucking in as much as we can, but there's some motion in the ocean right now. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
If my eyes are kind of up, it's just because I'm trying to focus,
My eyes are up here, Scott. Oh my gosh, seriously. Okay, Kate, this is as uncomfortable for Scott as it is for me. Do we have something to cover me up?
I heard you had like the Queen, Rachel McAdams, on today. Is that true?
She's going to be on with us a little bit later. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, okay, well, first of all, are you gonna wear that dress for her?
Well, I was just gonna say, you think that I'm pulling out the goods for you? You wait until Rachel comes on. I got something for her. No, that's
London, Ontario royalty with that. That's pretty cool. Well,
and the crazy thing is that as those who have gotten to know me well in the city over the last 4 years, I know, like, it's just like my bosom is just jumping out of this sweater.
Put that sweater on, maybe a couple of towels or something under that.
Hold this up. I'm sorry. But no, I was just going to say, the funny thing is, this had nothing to do with any of the milestone challenges. It's just any opportunity to wear a dress.
And feel like fair. That's a natural urge. I'm going to be on your side here. I hear you're shaving up an eyebrow if we get to our goal.
Well, that's the thing, is that we've kind of crushed every goal. So now we've upped it to about $50,000. And the amazing thing is that we're almost to that halfway point. We're almost at 25. Rachel has committed $10,000. Here's the thing. You can't be surprised in the least, because the amount of support that you've gotten over the years from this city is incredible.
Yeah, that's we've always said that we are so fortunate to come from Tessa from London and me from Ilderton, and the support that we've gotten over the years has been unbelievable. And our community comes together, everybody always talked about how we always said where we were from, and that's because we always had that support. And it's pretty cool to see. And I was just on a chat group with all my buddies from home, or Wednesday night hockey league, and they're all donating. They say, if you say Wednesday night hockey on, then we'll donate our spare fund, which is the leftover money at the end of the year. So here they go, and they're all chipping in extra $20, and I'm going to match theirs as well as the Ilderton Skating Club. Like, everyone just comes together for stuff like this, and this is the time we have to.
That's amazing. And, you guys hit the nail on the head with the fact that, people from London always seem to follow their feet back home. We don't need a GPS to get back to the Forest City. And anybody that's ever been an adopted son here or daughter here, Mitch Marner was on with us before, and the contribution that he made, everybody always keeps London in their heart. And I think it's the people. It's not necessarily the city. It's the people that make the city. And I can't say enough great things about this community, the people that come from it, wherever I go, because again, as somebody that was an import here in 2016, it's never felt more like home than it has today. So I gotta say,
me a little homesick here.
I was just gonna say I'm not trying to drive any tears out of you, but no, it is it's a brilliant thing, and we are extremely lucky, and I think people in London proper within the city sometimes take for granted the amazing healthcare that we've got here. Not only the equipment, the tools, the facilities, the research, but those people in the hallways that make LHSC what it is. As somebody that grew up about an hour and change from London, there were multiple times growing up that I had to come here for different procedures. And I know you as an athlete, there are multiple times that you guys have made those trips in. We sometimes don't realize what we've got.
How spoiled are we in London to have, just the cream of the crop in healthcare, and they need our support now. And we've always had that in our community. And now, something like this, it's great to see we kind of reach back out and help them.
Now, okay, obviously, given the attire and my dad bod, there's no chance that I could ever be considered to be your next partner. But I got to say, looking at you and Tessa, what you guys have accomplished, I mean, the stats have probably gotten to the point now where you're sick of hearing them in every conversation, but it's probably still very surreal for you guys. The most decorated Olympic figure skaters of all time, flag bearers, as somebody that watched that, and speaking on behalf of the thousands of somebodies that watched all of that transpire, you look back on those memories now that you guys have decided as a pair to go your separate ways. Is there one particular memory that will forever stick out? And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that was on the ice. It could have been off the ice, and it could have been something at one of those games that had nothing to do with either of you.
It's kind of interesting because now I think we're getting to a point in our life where our career is just starting to come into, I guess, perspective for us, where we can look back and truly understand the road and kind of the ride that we are on together. And for Tessa and I, we had a fairy tale sporting experience. I mean, we went through a lot of things, injuries and obstacles, and but that kind of, in the end, because of the people that we were surrounded with, the professionals, and just the great people that we met along the way, that kind of made it all worth it, even the bad times. So when I think about our career, the first thing I always go back to is that connection and relationship, very special relationship that Tessa and I had through the years. And a lot of people see the love in our relationship and think it's romantic, which isn't the case. We all know that, but we've always been blessed with that. And what I think about first and foremost, is just being in a grubby rink and being able to just skate, and that feeling of skating that we love so much. And that only came when we skated together. And so now looking back, and kind of, we've decided to move on, and for reasons that make sense to us, but at the same time, we'll always miss that. And then it goes quickly from that to being able to represent Canada and our communities at the Olympic Games and being flag bearers. And just because it was the honor of our lifetime to be on the Olympic team in the first place. So to be able to carry the flag in together, and look back and see the people, our teammates who we respect so much behind us, and marching in side by side, is a memory that we'll never forget.
Do you guys ever think, or do you personally ever think about, and it's hard because, you're so young to be retired.
I love that term, because people are like, so what are you going to do with your life? And I was like, well, I was an amateur athlete, so now I need to get a haircut and get a real job. Like, I'm 10 or 15 years behind.
Well, I can't help you with the real job because I'm not sure that radio qualifies. But if you ever need a haircut,
yeah, it's the ISO cut. You gotta do it.
As I was saying earlier, is that there going to be a lot of people see me walk out of the, well, especially in this dress, see me walk out of the house later today, walking my dog, and they're going to fasten me to their car to use me as a hood ornament to make their vehicle more aerodynamic. But there are now so many young, not just skaters, but so many young athletes that look at that and love that small town story, because, while Tessa being from London, I've always said, and we're seeing it in droves today from the people that are either A, jumping on the stream, B, contributing to the stream. It's always felt like the littlest big city on the planet to me, because everybody kind of knows everybody. And that's where this is very interesting with the physical distancing is, you're crossing the street away from somebody to keep your distance from them, to keep them safe, to keep yourself safe, but you're apologizing while you do it and saying, good to see you, Marcy. I love you. Bye.
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, to see you coming from Milderton, and you know, we're gonna have the Hunter brothers on with us in a little bit, and their story, not only in terms of country music, but also, you know, they're most of them are hockey players.
Oh, but talk about contribution to the community. That rink
Yeah.
changed the whole feeling of London.
Well, and you know, I look at it and think, if they can do it, I can. And I love, not me personally, not in this dress, but the message that you guys have bestowed upon, and the inspiration that you provided to so many kids, I think is brilliant.
I appreciate that. I mean, we feel, Tessa and I feel so fortunate, and you are really missing me, or making me miss home right now, as I'm actually in Tampa, Florida. As my partner, my life partner, my fiance is on the front lines as a physician assistant down here. She's honoring those commitments before we head back in a week to start our credible quarantine, of course. But yeah, it's you see what our community is made of, and why so many people come back. You know, why all those knights from years past still come and do events in our communities, even though they're from all around the country, and even internationally. And it's just a special spot. And to see everyone stepping up, supporting, you know, healthcare workers, first responders, like kind of our LHSC family, by leaving care packages on their front porch. And, you know, I have a cousin who's a RT at University Hospital, and she's got a couple of cases of beer and even some stuff for her family to try and get through. It's a struggle, and I can't imagine what that must be like for these people. So we just want to support them as much as we can, first of all financially, but also just kind of having their backs and knowing that we appreciate what they do.
And major props to your fiance as well, and for you to be a great support system, because that's the big thing that we don't often acknowledge, is that our frontline healthcare workers are out there crushing it every day. I keep saying they're doing what they do out there so that we can do the very least that we can do, and that's stay here, keep others safe.
Yeah, but it all puts it pretty into perspective, you know. Like it's I feel like my job is very easy right now, trying to just make sure I stay in and try and get through some Netflix and whatever.
But to be a great support and be a great partner is awesome. And you definitely, obviously, you know, after a storied career, know a thing or two about being a great partner. By the way, congrats on the engagement. You beat me by about 4 months. I tried to steal your thunder in December, but no,
I'm happy.
Still
congratulations to you as well. And I mean, the dress, that's fantastic.
Wow. I was just gonna say, don't congratulate me, congratulate her. I mean, obviously, she got the ring, she got the catch.
Like
the dress.
Lucky lady, I will say.
Yeah, no, I'm one fish that she's tried to throw back in the Thames multiple times, but this is a catch that won't leave. Now, you know, we've discussed on the broadcast, and everybody's seen it. Go on social media for 5 minutes, you see it. Everybody's impacted by this. You know, I mentioned before that Kate's a dance studio owner. Small business owners getting hit hard by this right now. So as much as we continue to support, you know, our frontline healthcare workers and drive these dollars to provide the vital tools that they need, it's another thing to remember too. And this is something that I know you can speak to. Moir's Skate Shop, a great example in Kamoka. We have to remember that when we get on the other side of this, small businesses are going to continue to need our help.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I can imagine for a small business and what we're going through at Moir Skate Shop, we feel like we're in a great position. So in no ways, you know, are we kind of the poor me, but I think of, you know, restaurants, breweries, you know, small startups, especially people, I think of Wortley Street, stuff like that, where, you know, these are kind of the fabric of our community, and they make up the things that we all enjoy. This is a hard time. So, you know, one of the things we've been trying to do as well is just support takeout, going and eat at these places. And they have such awesome systems. You roll up, open the trunk, and it's already prepaid for, and there you go. So trying to take advantage of that as well, and support these people that is so important. But at Moir Skate Shop, you know, our job is to be there for the skaters. And we always, there's no rink open. And at a time like this, with doing sport the way that the way the world is going, which is specializing and really hammering, I actually think it's okay. You know, 2-3 months off, hopefully that's what we're looking at. I mean, there's some projections that are scarier than that, but you know, it's not a bad thing to be at home with your family. It's not a bad thing to have quiet time and to really look around and count your blessings. And in a world that we live in, and for these young athletes especially, I think it's a good thing that maybe they can come back in 3-4 months and be hungry to be back. I feel bad, obviously, for, we have Summer Olympians in our community and that being pushed back, but every single athlete realizes that there are bigger things at play here.
Yeah.
At the skate shop, it's the same thing. I mean, when the people get back on the ice, hey, we'll be there to support you. But we're just trying to take some time with our families to support the people that really need it.
And that was going to be a question that I asked, obviously, the Olympics being such a huge fabric of your life. But yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that this is forcing a lot of people to look into the mirror right now and just reassess what is most important.
I will commend the Canadian Olympic Committee for being first to be like, hey, we can't do this. And that loop with, and I haven't done much, social media or anything, because I just don't feel like it's really my place to understand. I will say, though, I'm very proud of a lot of the athletes for how they've handled it. I'll urge people to remember that when you're an Olympic athlete, you're extremely selfish. I mean, that's what we kind of pay you to do in a way. Amateur athletes don't get paid, but you know what I mean? That's the name of the game. It's like you're solely focused on what you can do to win the Olympics. So being 3 months out of a games for something you prepared your whole life for, that's a really big adjustment. And I think that Canadians and Canadian Olympians, and maybe that's why we connect with Canadian Olympians on a level in Canada that's unlike anywhere else in the world, but they just have been able to put it in perspective and understand that, you know what, this is just something we have to deal with. And hopefully those games will go on and it'll be a celebration. And that is really what they're supposed to be, a celebration of humanity. And if we can't come together and be healthy during that time, we just can't make it happen.
Yeah. So. No, absolutely. Now, you mentioned before, supporting the local small businesses and ordering takeout, the curbside delivery, what have you. What's a meal back home in London that you miss? Because we talked about the people, but the food here is immaculate. I don't know how you ever became an Olympic athlete with the food at your disposal in this city.
You know what? It's what I like about London is it's really evolving. We're getting breweries. I think of Anderson Brewery. I know that they're not small time anymore. Places like Muskoka Brewing, as well as I like beer, so that's where I go first, and then I go to places like the Tasting Room, Church Key, Craft Pharmacy, which is a cool new one a year and a bit ago, and you go out there, you open the trunk, Wolf on Wortley, another great one, and they put things in there for you, and you're able to keep the doors open on a place like this, and imagine what they're going through. And what's blown me away is, most of them are giving affordable options for you. There might be fine dining, but if you want to have a Wednesday night meal, there you go, and good for them.
Yeah, no, I got to say, with Kate and I, where we're situated in the city, short of giving away our address, unless, of course, anybody from Storm State wants to bring a case of beer.
You might want to keep your address. People want to know.
We're right around the corner from Craft Pharmacy, and we've said multiple times, once we get on the other side of this, I am going to go and dummy about 8 dozen Malpeque oysters.
Well, and that's the other thing is, hopefully we come out of this sooner rather than later at the appropriate time. I will say.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Then we kind of have to come together and make this thing come back.
All right. Now, Scott, we're at almost $27,000, which is incredible.
All right.
We've still got a lot of miles left to go on this, and we've got a lot of guests that we've got to get to. But here's the thing. I've got a few minutes left with you. Do you have a pen and a piece of paper at your disposal?
I knew I was supposed to do that. Yes, I do.
All it has to do is be within an arm's reach.
I'm finding all my notes.
That's okay.
I got you here.
Well, no, if you do that, it'll actually give me a moment to put on a sweater that...
Okay, put a sweater on. I'm going to grab my paper.
Prevents you from staring at my bosom.
Good luck. I love it. Hey, that was the one thing they told me I had to be ready for.
They also didn't say anything about being ready to see a dude in a dress.
Yeah, that's really thrown me off.
Yeah?
I was all organized, but you're not going to stay in that?
Oh, are you kidding me? This thing's cramping my Hardy Boys. It's no mystery.
I do like the Canada Strong shirt, though. I will give you that.
I was just gonna say this is a local initiative. I don't know if you've ever worn a tux from Kurt at Collins Formal Wear, Collins Clothiers.
Okay, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, so they rolled this out a couple of weeks ago. They did one for small businesses, and they did one for healthcare workers as well, where the purchase of one of these sweaters, you can choose a small business that receives 10% of the purchase, or from the frontline healthcare standpoint, you can actually take that money and give it back to LHSF. So
it is. I will say it is a little strange being in Florida, because I feel like I have all of our signs, and us Olympians, we have like We Are Team Canada, but we have all of our signs facing in towards us, so that we don't anger our neighbors and make them think that we don't support everything around here as well. But
yeah.
It is great to see everything online now. Canada's coming together. I just can't wait to be home.
All right. Well, we can't wait to have you back home, especially if.
Oh, you have I don't have an assistant.
Oh, well, here's the thing is that it's the least that I could do to allow her arms to be a part of the broadcast. I feel so bad for Kate, because for the last 2.5 weeks, it's been conference calls, it's been Zoom meetings.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
And thank God we had Jillian Summers on before, because I have completely blown up the house trying to turn it into a radio studio and now a TV studio.
Yeah.
So
I thought about doing that. I was gonna like hang a pair of skates here and then do like a bookcase over here with all inspirational books, but I just didn't.
Well, if you're interested for future Zoom meetings, I'm pretty sure that somebody did a screen grab of me in the dress, so you could actually hang that behind you.
That is going to be something I want to remember.
All right, Scott, we're going to play a quick round of what I like to call toe Pictionary.
Okay.
So it's just a play on words.
The toe Pictionary.
Thank you. It's just play on words. I don't need to see anybody drawing with feet, because that's the last thing we need to do is do, me in a skimpy dress and all of it. Yeah, no, not today. Not today, Satan. Okay. So I've got something that I'm going to draw, and then you've got something that you are going to draw. Do you have an idea? And then yes, you can draw something, but not right now.
I don't know the rules of this game.
Well, here's the thing is that I'm making it up as we go, kind of like this whole broadcast has been. So we have 30 seconds to draw.
I'm just seeing on here, I know that we're playing a game, but I'm just seeing on here that we just got $800 from the WHL in Ilderton, our Wednesday night hockey league.
No way!
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, I have to say. So I'm gonna match that, and with everything, and try to do our best from Ilderton. And we're just a small bedroom community of London, but we'll send as much support as we can. The Ilderton Skating Club is doing some stuff as well, so we're pretty pumped.
Oh,
so I'm supposed to draw something here. Back to this.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Hey, always a pleasure to be on the Scott Moir Show.
Okay. That's Tessa. I'm not really that good at listening. She's always fun to tie these interviews together.
All right. So we're each going to get 30 seconds to draw something.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the opportunity to hold yours up. I'll have 30 seconds to guess, and then I'll hold mine up, 30 seconds to guess, and then we'll wrap this thing up, because last I checked, I wasn't an art major because I can't spell art or major. So
do we have a theme or something? Or do I just draw?
Just anything you want to draw.
Anything.
Anything you want to, anything within reason. It's a family show, but anything you want to draw. And then I will guess. Oh my God! Did you just see my leg cross?
The sneak peek of the leg is just too much.
Sorry, that's how we're getting the donations, right? It's just showing off that ink on the calf. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds starts now. I am not an artist or a zoologist. There's your hint.
A zoologist?
Yeah, well, just you'll understand. I think you'll get it. I think you'll understand. Okay. I'm done. Are you done?
The strangest drawing for me, but I think I've nailed it.
Okay.
I don't want you. I know how many meetings I sat in that I had to try and pretend I knew how to design one of these, but.
Is that me in a dress?
I'm never gonna be able to get that image out of my head, so I figured I might as well put it to paper.
You just hold it up again. Hold it up again.
All right. So I wanted to bring out the broad shoulders, but also how it accents the curvy lines here. So
that was the first thing I was going to say, is that you nailed the absence of any muscle whatsoever in my shoulders. But hold it up one more time. You crushed the hairline, bro.
You like that? Yeah, it's just like a little brightness off the head. I try to do like, when you draw a balloon, but I am really not a great drawer.
No, you nailed it, because I guessed it.
I'm a
Okay.
movement artist. So, all right, what do you got?
All right, let's
drawing of me and.
No. Let's see. Can you nail that one?
Oh, that's Tiger King.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So if you wanna like really feel like you want to get back to Canada, watch Tiger King, because oh my gosh, it's wild. It's so close. It hits so close to home. That's like Tampa. That's where I am.
Well, that's what I was watching it. I couldn't tune away from it, simply because I wasn't sure if anybody that I grew up with in Dresden, Ontario, was going to make a cameo.
Yeah, we're some similarities. It wasn't fair.
Oh, man. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on today, Scott. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. Thanks to the Wednesday Night Hockey League.
Hey, thanks
to the Ilderton Skating Club. Thanks for once again doing your part to bring this city together, whether it's on the ice or off the ice. Tessa might be the beauty, but you are definitely a true beauty.
Tessa, the other day, I was we did a Zoom with her, Morgan, and Jackie, and I. And, she sends her love and support, and obviously we're kind of dividing and conquering, but we feel like we're always there when one of us does one of these. So her love as well to everybody.
Brilliant. All right. Well, listen, stay safe. We can't wait to get you back on Canadian soil and quarantined, and we'll see you around at Craft Pharmacy very soon, Scott. Take care.
See you then. Be safe, everybody.